If you're a car owner, what you're about to learn might save you thousands of dollars and a whole lot of frustration. Let's start with something surprising. Around 40% of all engine failures happen because of one simple but serious issue: overheating. And when that happens, the repairs aren't cheap. Fixing an overheated engine can cost anywhere from $500 to over $7,000, depending on the damage. But the good news is, with just a few smart habits, you can make your car's cooling system last a very long time. Stick around until the end, because we're also sharing 2 bonus tips, one that even experienced mechanics sometimes forget, and another DIY trick that could save you from replacing your radiator unnecessarily. 7th tip. Use the right coolant and top up regularly. Using the appropriate coolant and topping it up regularly is crucial for your engine. Many think all coolants are the same, but they're not. One of the most sensitive and important car fluids is coolant. Beyond cooling, it does much more. In cold weather, it absorbs engine heat, prevents freezing, and avoids interior rust and corrosion. It must be just perfect, since it's antifreeze and water to keep the engine healthy. Mismatched coolant is a gradual calamity. Everything may appear good at first. Problems appear over time, sometimes a year later. Radiators may fail more often, or engine parts may corrode inside. In extreme circumstances, engine bearings might melt or the cylinder head can break, requiring over $4,000. Never skimp on coolant. Use what your car's handbook suggests. Fortunately, coolant needs to be replaced rarely. Modern coolants last 7 years or 150,000 miles, making maintenance easy and rewarding. Distilled water should be used to combine coolant with water. Tap water includes minerals, salts, and contaminants that can corrode and build up the cooling system. But distilled water is pure and clean, extending engine life. Tap water deposits may look innocuous, but they can clog channels, overheat the engine, and cause catastrophic damage. You may simplify matters by buying pre-mixed or pre-diluted coolant. These have the appropriate antifreeze water ratio, so you don't have to guess or measure. Check your coolant reservoir before adding more. Check the color for clutter and floating particles. If the coolant seems dirty or has changed color, flush or replace it. 6. Don't ignore coolant flushes. Unbeknownst to most, 35% of drivers postpone coolant replacements. They generally wait until an issue arises, which is too late. Repairs might cost thousands then. Like Toyota's, car manuals recommend changing silicate-based coolant, green after 30,000 miles, and extended drain coolant, gold or orange, every 100,000 miles. However, many experts recommend cleaning the coolant every 30,000, 60,000 miles for safety. Why? Because coolant degrades like other fluids. That can cause radiator corrosion and overheating. What determines if your automobile needs a coolant flush? A pleasant fragrance beneath the hood indicates coolant overheating. Repeated overheating or gurgling when the engine starts indicate air spaces where coolant should flow. Flush if the coolant seems filthy or has changed color. Other reasons include using the improper coolant. Most people check coolant levels, but often forget this deeper maintenance procedure, which might silently harm your engine. Tip number 5, replace thermostat. Every 4 to 5 years. The thermostat, which protects your engine, is often ignored in your cooling system. It regulates engine coolant discharge to maintain temperature. Closed thermostats help cold engines warm up rapidly. At 195 degrees C to 220 degrees, the thermostat opens to enable coolant flow. If it breaks, whether open or closed, you're in danger. The engine might overheat quickly if it sticks shut. If left open, the engine may run excessively cold, reducing fuel economy and damaging it. Despite its apparent functionality, the thermostat should be replaced every 4 or 5 years. It should be checked during a coolant flush, but most mechanics won't unless you ask. OEM parts should be used to replace it. OEM thermostats are more dependable and can save you hundreds over time. Many current automobiles include map-controlled or electronic thermostats. These are more precise yet delicate, so change them every 4 years immediately. Tip number 4, check radiator cap. The radiator cap may look little, but it's vital to your cooling system. Not any cap will do, despite popular belief. The radiator cap regulates system pressure. This pressure prevents coolant from boiling early and maintains your engine safe under stress. Some modern automobiles demand more radiator cap pressure than 13-18 psi. Check the cap often, especially before lengthy travels. Check for rubber gasket cracks, worn plastic seals, and weakening springs. These indicators indicate the cap can't maintain pressure, causing overheating. Instead of waiting for symptoms, replace the radiator cap every 4 or 5 years. The replacement cap should match your car's manual's pressure rating, just as other components. If your radiator cap failed without your knowledge, it may have damaged your radiator. Don't worry, the video's extra tip will teach you how to check. Tip number 3, avoid radiator hose cracking. Radiator hoses are crucial yet easily overlooked. They transport coolant between the engine, radiator, and water pump. A cracked or leaking hose might cause your engine to overheat immediately, inflicting serious damage. OEM radiator hoses can last 10 years or 100,000 miles, but high heat, age, or the improper coolant might limit their lifespan. Frequent cold and warm hose inspections can prevent issues. The cold check requires a totally cool engine. Then gently compress the hoses. A good hose is firm. When the hose crunches or feels brittle, the rubber is breaking down. Look for hose leaks at the ends or along it. Start and run the engine for the warm examination. Inspect the hoses for swelling or bulges, especially around the clamps. If you notice these difficulties, replace them. Early detection of hose issues can prevent engine failure. Tips 1. Check cooling fans. Radiator fans are often disregarded in automotive cooling systems. Despite checking fluid levels, most drivers never check the fan. This fan is essential for engine cooling, especially while idling or slowing down. When traveling fast, air passes through the grill and cools the radiator. When you're stopped or going slowly, the fan takes control. Start the car and blast the AC to test it. Fans are working if they spin. If your car has 2 fans and only one is running or neither is spinning, you may have a problem. Faulty fans are generally caused by a defective fuse, relay, sensor, wiring, or motor. If ignored, the radiator may overheat, causing engine damage and costly repairs. Tip 2. Clean radiator. The radiator is your car's largest and most costly cooling component. Excess coolant heat is released into the air. It gathers dirt, bugs, dust, and plastic bags due to its front engine bay location. When airflow is restricted, coolant stays hot, overheating the engine. It's important to examine and clean the radiator often. Also examine the condenser, which sits in front of the radiator and accumulates garbage. If accumulation appears, spray the radiator and condenser with water. Ideally, use distilled water and clean the system annually. Ask your professional to clean the radiator inside during a coolant flush. Cleaning the radiator improves cooling and engine protection. AT205 Reseal extends hose life. Tip 3. Rubber radiator hoses can dry out and break in harsh conditions. By adding AT205 Reseal, you may extend the life of a hose. It prevents leaks when applied to motor oil, but you may spray it on hoses. This keeps rubber pliable and prevents fractures. As a precaution, use it once a year or every 6 months in cold climates. This chemical works to protect your hoses and prevent sudden failures, despite its controversy. Tip 1. Bleed air pockets after coolant changes. Even expert mechanics miss cooling system air pocket hemorrhage. A coolant flush or top-up might trap air in the system. These air pockets hinder coolant circulation and can cause localized overheating near the thermostat or cylinder head. The problem is that your temperature gauge may not display this overheating. Park on a small incline with the radiator or reservoir lid at the highest position to bleed the system. Start the engine and blast the heating. As the engine warms up, the thermostat opens, releasing trapped air as bubbles. Keep adding coolant until bubbles cease. See your owner's handbook for cars with specific bleed valves. Removing these air pockets improves cooling and saves engine damage silently. Bonus tip 2, check radiator clogs. After blending your cooling system, examine the radiator for clogs. A blocked radiator can obstruct coolant flow and cause overheating, head gasket failure, and engine block cracks. Luckily, a simple infrared thermometer can detect obstructions. Measure radiator temperatures while the engine is operating. A cooler portion suggests coolant isn't flowing through it and is likely blocked. Don't worry. Do a radiator flush yourself to save $200. If it fails, try an aftermarket radiator. Avoid spending over $1,000 for OEM radiators when aftermarket ones work just as well and cost around $400. One simple action can save money and worry. Final thoughts. Simple maintenance for long-term protection. Keeping up with basic maintenance makes your car's cooling system easier to maintain. Regularly examining cooling fans, cleaning your radiator, putting AT205 reseal on hoses, bleeding air pockets, and checking for obstructions will prevent most serious difficulties. These easy steps will keep your engine cool, save you hundreds in repairs, and offer you peace of mind on every drive.